The stock deal was a reflection of the idealism that they bring to the way they run Google, and I think that they set it up so that not just institutional investors and Wall Street insiders would be able to benefit from the stock, but that their entire user base would be able to buy into the stock deal as well.
The unusual approach meant smaller fees and smaller potential profits, thus alienating much of Wall Street. Wall Street was also concerned about Brin and Page's management skills. As a result, Google's stock offering got off to a rocky start, with a price much lower than expected.
In the world of business, it probably doesn't make sense to piss off Wall Street when you don't necessarily have to.
But it was Brin and Page who had the last laugh. The stock price eventually soared, and they are now worth about $4 billion each. Friends say the windfall hasn't changed them, that they still have the same values as when they started.
I try to lead a modest lifestyle still. I have my car is about 10 years old. It's Honda, nothing very fancy, and I have an apartment in Palo Alto.
They are still very devoted to the business, very devoted to the technology side of it, to coming up with new ideas, building new things that make information more available.
Nevertheless, the transition to a publicly held company has required some adjustments.
So when their venture capitalists told them, time to get a CEO, guys, you guys are growing and you really need some adult, supervision here, they didn't agree with that. It was really only until they could all settle on Eric Schmidt, who was a very well-respected engineer with a lot of management experience and sort of a perfect fit, would they even allow the idea of a CEO to come into the equation.
Now that Google is a multi-billion-dollar company, it faces challenges it never confronted before.
The biggest problem, I think, for Google is how do they go from being a company that had 100 people 2.5, 3 years ago to a company that has 10,000 people in 2 to 3 years from now. That is the hardest thing for any company to do, and they're doing it at an incredibly accelerated pace.
Many of Google's employees are now millionaires as a result of the stock sale. That creates other problems.
I think as a result, Google and Larry and Sergey are going to have to deal with turnover at Google in a way that they've never had to deal with before.
And then, of course, there's the competition. Page and Brin have proven that search can be extremely profitable. Now, everyone is gunning for them. Yahoo has been buying up other search engines and adding services. With powerful Microsoft now flexing its muscles, many experts expect the beginning of an internet search war.
We definitely have a new generation of competitors, and it's something that we take seriously. Microsoft and Yahoo are both very strong companies.
To stay ahead of the competition, Google continues to add new sparkle to its growing list of services. Google Desktop searches a computer's hard drive, just as Google searches the internet. Google Print allows users to search current books for specific information. The purchase of Keyhole Corporation allows users, for a fee, to search satellite and aerial images of the Earth's surface.
What Google wants to be, and I think Larry and Sergey would acknowledge that they're only a part of the way there, is to be the largest repository of information in the world.
With about 8 billion documents and images stored in their index, the web's preeminent librarians are well on their way.
Anything that you don't develop is a garden left untended, so to speak. So there are a lot of really interesting next generation things that we're working hard to make possible.
Part of that hard work entails navigating through uncharted legal waters. Suits over AdWord clients using trademark search terms and invasion of privacy issues are potential signs of rough waters ahead. Claims of copyright infringement pose another potential hazard. Google searches turn up large numbers of copyrighted images and copyrighted newspaper articles, for example. Google doesn't remove them unless someone complains.
If they can give proof of ownership of the web page, we take it off. We certainly respect that they're the owner of the content, and if they don't want to make it available, then that's fine by us.
Page and Brin's quest to make all the world's information readily accessible raises an important societal issue as well. The more people use Google, the more it defines who we are in other people's eyes. The danger is, Google's information may be inaccurate or false. Google's search engine has no way of knowing.
It just includes those things that the index picks up. And oftentimes those things are not the full picture of a person, but people still make decisions based on what they see there.
For better, and in some cases for worse, the genie of instant and ubiquitous information is out of the bottle. In centuries to come, historians may well look back on the world before Page and Brin began their quest and remember it as the Dark Ages.
People will say, I can't believe people ever lived in a world where every single bit of human knowledge is instantaneously available to them. Such a concept is still a little foreign to our ears, but Google is making it seem a little bit more practical.